In a small town, a loving dog's life changes in a sad way. A day meant for joy turns into a surprising story of staying faithful and wishing, making a quiet feeling that spreads through the busy heart of the town. The beginning of Jack's life. The story begins in the picturesque town of Meadowvale, where an affectionate and loyal dog named Jack lived with his owner, Elliot. When Jack became a part of Elliot's family, his lovable personality and friendly behavior immediately captured their hearts. He seamlessly fit into their daily routines, bringing endless joy to their home. Elliot cherished Jack's appearance and relished in his playful nature, turning every walk, whether in town or the countryside, into a delightful adventure. Jack's happiness manifested through every wag of his tail, solidifying the strong bond between him and Elliot, a perfect match seemingly brought together by destiny. A shocking turn on Jack's birthday. On Jack's 8th birthday, Elliot wanted to make it really special for him. They started the day with Jack's favorite breakfast, creating a happy atmosphere for a day full of love and treats. They went for a long walk in the fields, letting Jack enjoy the freedom of the outdoors. The highlight was a planned visit to the local dog spa, where Jack would be pampered like a king. Unfortunately, the day turned tragic. While they were driving to the dog spa, their car collided with another vehicle at a very fast speed. The crash caused their car to flip, breaking glass and causing chaos. Sadly, Jack was thrown out of the car and ended up unconscious in a bush in the town square. The accident was very serious, and Elliot tragically lost his life immediately. A crowd gathered in the town square because of the loud crash, but nobody noticed Jack lying unconscious in the bushes. Emergency services arrived to help, dealing with the sad situation, but they didn't see Jack hidden away. Jack's unbreakable bond. After a few hours, Jack woke up. He didn't know about the bad things that happened. He only had a few small cuts and bruises. When he opened his eyes, he saw he was all alone. The people he loved were gone. Jack felt confused and waited for them to come back. As days passed, Jack kept waiting for his loved ones. It became a routine, and he desperately waited on the same road, hoping Elliot would return. Even when he was hungry, he didn't leave. He looked for food in the trash cans in the town square, but always went back to the same spot. People in the town noticed Jack always sitting there and got worried about him. Authorities wanted to help by suggesting taking Jack to the dog pound for safety, but Jack didn't want to leave because he believed leaving meant giving up hope of seeing Elliot again. He was so loyal that he resisted any attempt to move him. As the years passed, Jack stayed in the town square and became a symbol of strength and loyalty. The townspeople got used to seeing him patiently waiting, thinking of him as a symbol of enduring love. People passing by would pet him or offer food, drawn to the sadness in his eyes. As time went on, Jack got older. His once colorful fur turned gray in some places, but he stayed determined to wait. The lively puppy became a living reminder of lost love and the strong connection between people and their loyal pets. From hopeful waiting to enduring legacy. After waiting for 7 long years, Jack peacefully passed away in his sleep, right where he had spent each day hoping for Elliot to return. The townspeople mourned the loss of their loyal friend, and to express their appreciation, they organized a funeral for Jack, ensuring he received the recognition he deserved even in death. To always remember Jack's unwavering loyalty, the townspeople decided to create a statue of him. Placed in the same spot where he waited for years, the statue depicted him sitting, watching forever. It became a symbol of friendship, reminding everyone that even when Jack was lonely, he brought comfort to those who needed it. Despite Meadowvale's people losing a cherished friend, Jack's legacy endured. The statue became like a quiet friend, offering solace to anyone who sat near it. In the bustling town square, people spent time with the bronze statue, feeling Jack's warm spirit and understanding the profound meaning of his story. What a great ending. Share your thoughts about this story in the comments below. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more, and share the video with your friends. Until then, take care. Imagine a sheepdog lost in the vast forest. When the farmer who found him tells an unexpected tale, it unveils a story of survival, mysteries, and a heartwarming reunion that no one saw coming. The story begins in a beautiful village, where a special sheepdog named Dexter lives with his owner, Emma. Emma has a small sheep farm, and every morning they take care of a large group of sheep, ensuring they are safe in the green fields. The mysterious disappearance. One day, Emma was taking care of a sheep stuck in branches when she noticed that Dexter was missing. She looked around but couldn't find him anywhere. Dexter usually didn't go far, and he always came back when Emma called him. But this time, he was nowhere to be seen. Emma felt worried and started searching for him, running through the meadows and calling his name. It was like he had suddenly disappeared, leaving Emma worried. Emma was really worried because she spent the whole day and night looking for Dexter. She put up missing posters of Dexter in her village and nearby villages, hoping he would return. Sadly, she didn't find any clues, and Dexter was still missing. Emma was left with a lot of questions and no answers. This incident made Emma very sad. She used to have a sheepdog named Dexter, but one day, Dexter disappeared and Emma was heartbroken. She missed him terribly and hoped every day that he might come back. A surprise call. 7 long months had passed and Emma's hope began to fade. Then, out of the blue, she received a surprising phone call. It was from a sheep farmer who lived far away. He told Emma something she never expected. A few days earlier, the farmer was walking in the woods near his farm, looking out for wolves. Suddenly, he found a very thin and injured dog. The poor dog was weak, hungry, and almost not alive. He had dirty and matted fur, a long scar on his side, and a limp in his leg. The farmer felt sorry for the dog and decided to take it home. He took care of the dog, feeding it and helping it recover, not knowing who the dog really was. When the farmer took the dog to the vet, they found out that it was a sheepdog that had been vaccinated as a puppy. However, the dog had been through a tooth journey, facing dangers like wolves and bears. But things got interesting when the farmer saw a poster in the village asking for a lost dog named Dexter. He compared the picture on the poster to the dog he had rescued and realized it was Dexter, the missing sheepdog that had been lost for 7 months. Emma, who had been hoping for Dexter's return, was overwhelmed with emotions. She felt relieved and happy, knowing that Dexter had not disappeared forever. The heartwarming reunion. Emma couldn't wait to see Dexter again, so she hurried to the farmer's house, which was a few miles away. The big fields and the fresh smell of grass made her even more excited. When she knocked on the farmer's old door, the amazing sight of Dexter standing there filled her with hope. Dexter looked older, but still had a familiar spark in his eyes. He had gained some weight, his fur was clean and shiny, and his scar had healed. Emma couldn't hold back her tears as Dexter happily ran towards her, barking joyfully in the countryside. She hugged him tightly, feeling his warm and soft body. She felt a wave of relief and happiness, knowing that Dexter had survived and was back with her. The reunion was a mix of feelings for Emma. Dexter's muddy paw prints on the porch of the farmhouse signaled the start of a new beginning. The new adventure. When Dexter reunited with the sheep after 7 months, he got super excited and started jumping around like a happy puppy. It was clear he missed them and his job as a sheepdog. The next morning, as Emma got ready for the day, she was happy to see Dexter already working, herding the sheep towards the meadow. Even though he was 7 months older, he had a lively energy in his steps, but many of the sheep Dexter knew had passed away, and the younger ones weren't used to him. They kept wandering towards a path near the woods. Emma realized this was dangerous. Dexter noticed it too and was growling and snarling at the trees when she caught up with them. Emma got worried. What was in the woods? Had the sheep been close to danger for months? Dexter looked like he might run, so she held on to his collar. She didn't want him to disappear again. He struggled, but she didn't let go. Out of the corner of her eye, she saw something suspicious in the bushes. The sheep backed away and Dexter's growl turned into a loud bark. Emma felt scared. Despite his tough past, Dexter was ready to protect her. Maybe on that day when she got stuck in the branches, a predator came close to the herd. Dexter might have followed it into the woods, got lost and faced dangers. She quickly turned around and led the sheep to safety. From then on, she decided to take a safer path. She didn't want to risk anyone's safety, especially Dexter, who had already been through so much. She might not know what really happened to him, but he was back, and that was what mattered most. What a great ending. Share your thoughts about this story in the comments below. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more, and share the video with your friends. Until then, take care. Imagine a small family with a happy new dog. But as night comes, strange things start happening. They don't know it yet, but their happiness will soon turn into a big mystery. The story begins with a family who just got a new member, not a baby, but a happy and loving dog. They wanted to give their kids a friend to play with and experience the joy a dog brings. Little did they know, their decision would lead them into a puzzling mystery. When the pup arrived, he quickly became a big part of the family's everyday life. The kids loved playing with him, and the dog, who was both really friendly and smart, fit perfectly into the family. They spent time teaching him tricks, creating a strong bond that made everyone really happy. But then, something strange happened in the story. Just a few weeks after the dog joined the family, a weird behavior popped up, making everyone uneasy. One night, instead of sleeping peacefully, the dog stayed wide awake outside the parents' bedroom, staring at them with a creepy intensity. This odd habit kept happening every night, leaving the family confused and worried. The dog's gaze seemed to mix fear and a kind of silent plea, creating a mysterious and concerning atmosphere. Concerned for their furry friend, the family took him to the vet, hoping for answers. Unfortunately, the vet couldn't find any health problems with the dog. He said the pup was perfectly healthy, making the mystery around his nighttime behavior even more puzzling. Even though they didn't have a clear answer, the family was determined to find out what was going on. Running out of ideas, the family went back to the shelter where they got the dog. Little did they know, this decision was about to uncover a sad and heart-wrenching story, helping them understand why their canine friend was so upset. In a really sad twist, they found out that the dog's old owner, someone he was really close to, heartlessly left him at the shelter one night while he was fast asleep. The sudden separation from everything he knew broke the dog's heart, leaving him confused and alone in a strange place. The family was really sad to discover the painful truth about their dog's past, understanding the emotional scars he carried. Even though he now had a loving home, the memory of being abandoned still haunted him, showing up in his sleepless nights and intense stares. Wanting to heal their dog's broken spirit, the family came up with a plan to rebuild his trust. They put the dog in a basket next to them on the bed, showing him that they were committed to keeping him close and safe. After a few weeks of sleeping next to his new family, a breakthrough finally happened. One special night, the dog, for the first time since he joined the family, closed his eyes and peacefully fell asleep. The family was super happy to see this change. They figured out that gaining his trust by being close and reassuring him was the key to healing the wounds from his past owner. After that night, the dog started acting differently in a really good way. The family successfully helped their furry friend overcome the sad memories of his past. The nights, which used to be restless, became calm, and the family was excited about the stronger bond they had created, knowing they played a big part in bringing peace to their dog. In this story about strength, love, and making things better, the family's dedication to understanding their dog's mysterious behavior led to a heartwarming ending. The dog, who once felt the weight of being abandoned, now found comfort and safety in the love of his new family. What a great ending. Share your thoughts about this story in the comments below. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more, and share the video with your friends. Until then, take care. What will happen when an ordinary patrol at Beirut International Airport takes an unexpected turn? When Officer and his K9 partner encounter a mysterious suitcase, their routine patrol transforms into a suspenseful tale of intrigue, unveiling a shocking discovery that unravels the secrets of illegal smuggling. Exciting start at Beirut International Airport. The story starts at Beirut International Airport, where Officer John and his K9 partner, Vixen, were on their usual patrol. Vixen, a smart German shepherd, usually did his job calmly. But this day turned out to be different. In the busy airport, Vixen suddenly got interested in a suitcase from Ukraine going to Beirut. It looked normal, but something about it made Vixen act strange. Instead of barking like usual, he made a low sound and quickly ran towards the suitcase, leaving Officer John confused. Vixen acted differently than usual, suggesting something unusual about the suitcase. Even though the suitcase looked normal, it had tiny holes that caught Vixen's interest. Every time he got close, he pulled back as if there was a bad smell he could sense, but Officer John couldn't. Realizing this could be serious, Officer John called in a team trained to handle potential threats like bombs. Wearing protective gear, the team carefully took the suspicious suitcase to a private room. The atmosphere got tense, especially because Vixen was acting more excited than usual, showing with his tail that something was off. As the team checked the suitcase, people outside speculated about what could be inside. A big sigh of relief came when they confirmed there were no explosives. However, the mystery remained. Why did Vixen react so strangely? Surprising discovery inside the mysterious suitcase. Officer John followed the small holes in the box and caught a faint smell coming from them. It turned out Vixen was onto something. The officers decided to open the box, not sure what they would find. When they opened the box, they were shocked. Inside were 3 baby Siberian tiger cubs, looking scared and huddled together in the old crate. The room fell silent as everyone tried to make sense of the unexpected find. Officer John was shocked and didn't know what to say when he saw the tiger cubs. It turned out the cubs were born in a zoo in Ukraine and were supposed to be sent to Damascus for a trade deal. Something went wrong, and they ended up stuck in a crate without proper care. They were dehydrated, and their fur was all messy, showing signs of a tough journey. Feeling sorry for them, the officers gave the cubs blankets and water, making a comfortable spot for them at the airport. When animal control arrived, they took the cubs to a safe place where they could get the care they needed. The cubs were named Luna, Stella, and Orion. They became symbols of strength because, despite their tough journey, they got a second chance at a better life thanks to caring people like veterinarians and caretakers. The process of helping them included making sure they were physically and emotionally okay, and helping them learn how to be around others. Over time, Luna, Stella, and Orion got used to their new home, and their different personalities started to show as they explored around. This unique situation got people all around the world talking about animal trafficking and why it's important to be kind to animals. The importance of wildlife in traditions and ecosystems. You might know that animal trafficking is really bad for animals and the environment. Animals that are already at risk of disappearing forever are often the ones traffickers go after, making the problem even worse. This hurts not just individual animals but also messes up whole ecosystems, making the variety of life in a place go down. Animals that get caught up in trafficking go through a lot of pain. They get captured in really rough ways, and when they're being moved, they have to deal with being crammed into tight and dirty spaces. Sadly, many animals don't even survive the trip because they get too stressed, hurt, or sick before they can make it to where they're supposed to go. Aside from being the right thing to do, Animal trafficking is against the law and can be dangerous for both animals and people. When wild animals are captured and traded, it can make diseases spread between animals and humans, which is not good for public health. Many of the animals that get trafficked are important to different cultures and the environment. They are part of traditions, ceremonies, and how ecosystems work. Losing these animals can be a big deal, causing problems for cultures, spirituality, and the balance of nature. In Officer John's situation at the airport, everyone got a glimpse of how bad animal trafficking can be. Thanks to Vixen's sharp senses, the tiger cubs were saved from whatever bad things might have happened to them. This whole situation made more people realize how bad animal trafficking is. Luna, Stella, and Orion's journey shows that being kind can help animals overcome tough situations and get closer to how they're supposed to live in the wild. That's all for today. Now, it's your turn to share your thoughts about this story. What's the next story you'd like to know? Let us know in the comment section below, and be sure to subscribe so you won't miss any of these amazing videos on the Wild Wonder. What will happen when a woman gets a dog to feel less lonely, not knowing that the dog will not only keep her company, but also do surprising things she didn't expect? The beginning. The story begins with a young woman named Emma, who has faced health challenges since she was little. She has a heart problem that limits her from doing physical activities, and there's a risk of fainting or worse if her blood pressure spikes. Even with these difficulties, Emma kept going. She went to college, got a job, and moved into a nice home near her parents. However, things got lonely when her job turned remote, and she felt isolated. To change that, Emma decided to get a pet to keep her company. After looking at different animal shelters, she found a lively puppy named Milo. Even though she originally wanted a smaller dog, Emma felt an instant connection with Milo, a mix of German Shepherd and Border Collie. Milo not only brought joy to Emma, but also unintentionally helped her stay fit by needing daily walks. Unexpected protector. Beyond the fun times, Milo became more than just a pet. He became Emma's protector. Milo had a remarkable ability to sense when Emma wasn't feeling well, often alerting her before any problems occurred. This natural skill, though not trained, became a crucial part of Emma's life, adding an extra layer of safety. Then one day, while Emma was making coffee, something unexpected happened with Milo. He started nudging her with his nose, trying to get her attention. Emma felt a bit dizzy and realized she had forgotten to take her medicine. She couldn't stand properly, and that's when Milo did something amazing. He nudged her towards the fridge and, surprisingly, opened it. Milo got a bottle of water and brought it to Emma. Then, he jumped on the table, grabbed her pill bottle, and gave it to her. Emma was shocked but grateful for Milo's help. Not stopping there, Milo even went to get her phone so she could call for help. Even though Milo wasn't trained for this, his natural instincts kicked in, and he became a true lifesaver for Emma. Their bond showed an incredible connection between them. Furry, hero in action. But despite all the love in the world, unexpected problems happened. One morning, Milo woke up and couldn't find Emma in their room. After searching the house, he found her in the kitchen, not responding. When he barked for help, no one answered, so he ran to a nearby road and found a police officer. The police officer noticed Milo's name on his collar and saw that he was acting strangely. Milo kept barking and pulling at the officer's pants, trying to get him to follow. Milo led the officer to a house where Emma was unconscious. Inside, they found her on the floor with pills and water around her. Realizing it was an emergency, the officer called an ambulance and tried to help Emma. Milo stayed with her, whimpering softly. The ambulance came quickly, fixed the problem with the pills, and took Emma to the hospital. The officer stayed with Milo until Emma's parents arrived. Emma spent some time getting better in the hospital and was thankful for her unexpected hero, Milo. When she came home, Milo gave her a joyful welcome, confirming the strong bond they shared. The brave pup wasn't just Emma's loyal friend. He had also become her life-saving guardian. The people in the neighborhood called Milo a hero, and Emma's parents, realizing how important Milo was to their daughter, thanked him. Milo's natural ability to sense and help with Emma's health problems turned him from just a pet into a crucial part of the family. As Emma and Milo faced challenges together, their story showed how strong the bond between humans and animals can be. Emma, who used to struggle with health issues, found comfort, support, and happiness in the silent understanding she shared with her furry friend. It's proof of the amazing ways animals can impact and make our lives better. That's all for today. Now, it's your turn to share your thoughts about this story. What's the next story you'd like to know? Let us know in the comment section below, and be sure to subscribe so you won't miss any of these amazing videos on The Wild Wonder. What will happen when someone is worried about their puppy being too hyper, affecting its sleep and health? Even after going to the vet, they can't find a fix. But when a new family member arrives, all the problems magically get better, making everyone happy. The beginning. The story begins on a sunny afternoon in Tampa, Florida, where John and Lily Anderson, a happily married couple, are excitedly coming home from the hospital with their new baby Alex. It's a mix of nervousness and joy in the air as they park in the driveway, holding their precious baby. Lily, holding Alex in her arms, steps out of the car, and John follows, looking proud and a bit anxious. They've been getting ready for this moment for months, making sure their home is safe and ready for the new addition to their family. Hey everyone, welcome to Wild Wonders. Before we start today's video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We're so close to hitting 1,000 subscribers, so make sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Now, let's continue with the story. There's a surprise member that John and Lily didn't plan for. A lively puppy they adopted just a week ago. This little dog is bursting with energy, zooming around the house and causing all sorts of trouble. The vet even said the pup's hyperactivity might be affecting its health and sleep. As the couple walks into their home, the puppy eagerly greets them, jumping around and trying to see what Lily is holding. But John steps in quickly, putting up dog gates to keep the playful pup away from the new baby. Alex is brought into his newly painted blue room, all set up with a shiny new crib. The tired but happy parents take turns taking care of their baby. Meanwhile, the puppy is left outside the room, looking in with confusion and curiosity. It realizes things have changed, and it's not allowed in certain places anymore, losing its usual playmates. As the days go by, the puppy's initial cries and protests quiet down, and it starts behaving more calmly. Then John and Lily decide to slowly let the puppy meet Alex. Unexpected friendship. So they finally bring the puppy to the Alex room, and the puppy starts sniffing the baby's head, and as trust grows, everyone feels more at ease. The once lively troublemaker of a puppy now cuddles and plays gently with Alex, forming a heartwarming bond. Surprisingly, something incredible happens on a lazy Sunday afternoon. Alex is peacefully sleeping on a blanket, and John and Lily are enjoying a quiet moment on the couch. The still energetic puppy, despite some medication, goes up to the sleeping baby. What comes next is hard to believe. The puppy, with gentle moves, manages to fall asleep on top of Alex. This discovery shocked John. The once restless puppy now finds comfort with Alex. They nap together, bringing comfort to both the baby and the dog. Everyone is amazed by this unexpected solution, realizing their worries about introducing Alex to the puppy were unnecessary. From that day on, the puppy's sleeping problems disappear. Whenever it gets restless, just being near Alex helps. The puppy even starts sleeping under Alex's crib at night, keeping an eye on him while the parents rock the baby to sleep. As time goes by, the puppy grows into a big dog, but its strong connection with Alex doesn't fade. If Alex isn't around, the dog has a hard time finding a good night's sleep. It turns into a heartwarming story of an unexpected friendship between a baby and a dog that goes beyond the usual. The once mischievous puppy becomes a faithful friend, showing that sometimes unique solutions can create extraordinary connections. That's all for today. Now, it's your turn to share your thoughts about this story. What's the next story you'd like to know? Let us know in the comment section below, and be sure to subscribe so you won't miss any of these amazing videos on The Wild Wonder. What happens when a woman loses her beloved dog and doesn't find any clue of them? But one day, when she's going to the animal shelter, she sees something unexpected that shocks the shelter staff. Hey everyone, welcome to Wild Wonders. Before we start today's video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We're so close to hitting 1,000 subscribers, so make sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Now let's start the story. Margarita's journey. The story starts with a woman named Margarita. Her world fell apart when her beloved dog, Milo, vanished. She searched everywhere for him, hoping to find him. But despite her efforts, Milo remained missing, leaving Margarita feeling lost and empty without him. Memories of their time together flooded her mind, making her miss Milo even more. After a few years, Margarita went to the sanctuary to adopt a new dog to help her forget about Milo. However, as she entered the sanctuary, she saw something unexpected: a big dog with sad blue eyes. He looked skinny and weak. Margarita wondered if it could be Milo, her lost dog. She felt nervous but wasn't sure. The dog had scars and messy fur, showing he had a tough time on the streets. Margarita hoped he would recognize her, but Milo didn't. So what happened that her beloved dog didn't remember her? Back to old days. But to truly understand Margarita's journey, one must rewind the clock 5 years earlier, to a time when a young woman named Margarita lost her husband and found solace in the company of a playful puppy named Milo. In Milo's company, bound by a bond that transcended words, Katrina and Milo were inseparable. Each day was a symphony of laughter and companionship, a testament to the unbreakable bond they shared. Each morning, Milo's excited barks were Margarita's alarm, and each night, his calm breathing was her lullaby. They were inseparable, a duo facing the world with unspoken understanding and love. But that harmony broke when Margarita came home one autumn day and couldn't find Milo. The quiet backyard made her feel very sad. She looked for Milo for many days, weeks, and months, but he was nowhere to be found. Margarita felt very lonely and sad every night as she searched for Milo. Meanwhile, Milo was wandering the tough streets, feeling sad because life was hard. He had scars from all the tough times he'd been through. But then, some nice people from a shelter came along and helped him out, giving him hope again. At the shelter, Milo felt warm and safe. He liked being around nice people who petted him gently. But he still felt sad sometimes, thinking about whether he would ever see his owner Margarita again. Back at the shelter, Margarita felt unsure as she looked at Milo. He didn't seem to care about her anymore. He didn't act happy or recognize her like he used to. It was like he didn't know her at all. The volunteers watched quietly, hoping they would bond again, but it didn't happen. Margarita didn't give up, though. She was determined to bring back their old connection, remembering something from their past together. As the vet talked about Milo's health, Margarita felt very sad. The vet said Milo needed time to get better, reminding Margarita of the tough times he went through. But even though things looked uncertain, Margarita still felt a little hopeful. She believed Milo could get better. An unexpected reunion. When Margarita went to the shelter again, she decided to bring Milo home with her. This time, she brought something from their past together. As she walked towards Milo, she felt a little nervous but also very hopeful. When she reached Milo's cage, she knelt down and looked into his eyes. She whispered their special phrase, "Good boy, Milo. Good boy." And then something amazing happened. Milo's attitude changed. His eyes showed that he remembered Margarita, and he moved closer to her, just like they used to do together. Margarita cried happy tears as she hugged Milo tightly. She had missed him a lot and had looked for him without giving up. When they finally reunited, everyone at the shelter cheered. It showed how strong love and determination can be. At home, Milo changed a lot, and it was amazing. Every day, they had happy moments and little successes, showing how love can make things better. When Margarita saw Milo wagging his tail happily, she knew their connection was very strong. They had been through tough times, but they never lost hope, and it made their bond even stronger. In the years after, Margarita and Milo's story gave hope to many. It showed that love can overcome anything, even the toughest times. As they walked together, holding hands and paws, they felt very thankful. They knew their journey wasn't finished yet. Their love was so strong that it would last forever, no matter what. That's all for today. Now it's your turn to share your thoughts about this story. What's the next story you'd like to know? Let us know in the comment section below, and be sure to subscribe so you won't miss any of these amazing videos on The Wild Wonder. In a calm park, a cold dog tied to a bench made people feel sad. As the story went on, people got mad but then did something to help. This led to a happy journey of saving the dog, making things better, and finding it a loving home forever. Hey everyone, welcome to Wild Wonders. Before we start today's video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We're so close to hitting 1,000 subscribers, so make sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Now let's start the story. A sad encounter in the park. One chilly morning, someone walking in the park saw a sad little dog tied to a bench. The dog looked very unhappy, with big sad eyes, as if it was asking for help without making any noise. It was really sad to see. The dog looked cold and was shaking because its fur wasn't thick enough to keep it warm. The person who saw this was kind and liked animals, so they went closer to help. When the person gently touched the shaking dog, it let out a quiet sigh, showing that it felt a bit better with human contact. It was a touching moment that showed how lonely and scared abandoned pets can be. Even though the dog was afraid, it seemed to feel a little hopeful and trusting because of the person's kind gesture. The person untied the dog's leash with care, and thankfully, the dog felt a bond with them and followed willingly. They were headed to a dog shelter in a small Spanish town called Langreo, where the dog would find warmth and care. Also, the person clicked a picture of the dog when it was tied to a bench and uploaded it on social media. The news of the lonely dog spread quickly, making many people in the community feel upset. They were angry that someone left the dog alone, and they felt sad seeing the dog suffering without anyone to help. A photo of the dog's sad eyes became a powerful symbol of a bigger problem that needed to be addressed. In the shelter, the dog felt safe and cared for. The staff gave him food, love, and a cozy place to rest. Meanwhile, outside the shelter, people were very upset and wanted to make things right for the poor dog who was abandoned. Upset about a left-behind pup. Amidst all the confusion, something really sad happened that got everyone talking. It's about a dog who was left all alone, and people everywhere got really upset about it. The person responsible, Liesel, was found, and everyone got even more upset. Liesel said she left the dog because she didn't have enough money to take care of it anymore. She hoped someone would find the dog and give it a new home. But even though she explained herself, people were still really mad. They said what she did was really wrong because in a world where people care about each other, leaving your pet behind is a terrible thing to do. People said Liesel should have taken the dog to a shelter instead of leaving it outside. As the story went on, the community became even more determined to make things right for the dog and make sure it was okay. Many people wanted to adopt the dog, showing how much they cared and how determined they were to fix what happened. Days went by, and the dog started feeling better. He began to trust people again, wagging his tail and giving grateful licks to those who looked after him. Meanwhile, the community came together and talked about how important it is to take good care of pets and make sure they have proper identification to avoid sad situations like this one, a new beginning. Finally, after waiting for 10 days, the shelter said that the dog's owner didn't come to get him. It was sad, but also hopeful because it meant the dog could find a new home. Lots of people wanted to adopt him, showing how much the community cared and wanted to help the dog have a happy life. In the end, a nice family from Langreo adopted the dog. They were really happy and excited to have a new pet in their home. It was a really happy moment, showing that being kind and caring can make things better, even when times are tough. As the dog happily wagged his tail with his new family, everyone in the community felt relieved. They were glad it was a happy ending instead of a sad one. Watching the dog play in his new backyard made them think about what could have happened if people hadn't been kind and if the community hadn't helped. That's all for today. Now, it's your turn to share your thoughts about this story. What's the next story you'd like to know? Let us know in the comment section below. And be sure to subscribe so you won't miss any of these amazing videos on The Wild Wonder. What will happen when a soldier says goodbye to his home and loyal pet to go to war, but then finds out his furry friend is missing? In the middle of all the chaos, the soldier's pet shows incredible loyalty and bravery, starting an exciting story of courage and friendship during the war. Hey everyone, welcome to Wild Wonders. Before we start today's video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We're so close to hitting 1,000 subscribers, so make sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Now, let's start the story. The beginning. Once upon a time in September 1914, in a little village called Bavant, nestled in County Cork, there lived a soldier named William Brown. He bid farewell to his family, his cozy home, and his faithful dog, Prince, with a heavy heart. William had to leave for the war, leaving behind all that he held dear. Prince, his loyal companion, was equally crestfallen. William had rescued Prince when he was astray, wandering the streets, lonely and forlorn. Prince had found solace and love in William's care. But one day, not long after William departed for the battlefield, Prince vanished from the house. William's wife searched for Prince everywhere, desperately hoping to find their beloved dog. Prince was nowhere to be found, leaving her heartbroken. With a heavy heart, she penned a sorrowful letter to her husband, informing him of their beloved pet's disappearance. A reunion amidst war's chaos. And when William heard the news, he felt a heavy sadness wash over him. But duty called, and he knew he had to soldier on. Little did he know, a surprise awaited him. A few days later, as he made his way back near Amontier, a voice pierced the darkness. "I have your dog, William," it said, sparking hope in his heart. At first, Brown thought he was imagining things because of how Prince traveled during the war situation. But when he looked, he saw Prince standing there, alive and happy, wagging his tail happily. The moment they reunited surprised everyone in Brown's regiment. It touched the hearts of everyone who saw it. The commanding officer couldn't help but notice Prince's unwavering loyalty and irresistible charm. Impressed, he decided to officially enlist Prince as a member of the regiment. With a special jacket and his own identification disc, Prince was now part of the team. But he wasn't just a mascot. Prince proved himself as a brave companion, fearlessly joining soldiers like Brown's friend Samuel on perilous missions to the front lines. Picture Prince, sitting confidently on a horse, reins clenched in his teeth, as he rode into battle alongside his human comrades. His presence brought solace and courage to all who fought alongside him, earning him a special place in their hearts and in the annals of wartime heroism. In the trenches, Prince showed his special skills as the regiment's rat catcher. He fearlessly fought against the pests that bothered the soldiers. Everyone appreciated his dedication and bravery. Prince quickly became a hero to everyone, even though his actions weren't widely celebrated. Yet, during the chaos of war, tragedy struck when Prince had a fall that broke his leg. Even though he was hurt, he stayed strong, and kept comforting the sick and injured. His determination gave hope to everyone, even in the darkest times of battle. Amidst the uncertainty and danger of war, Prince's constant presence brought comfort and happiness to everyone who knew him. But as the war came to an end, Prince's time in the trenches was over. He went back home to England with Private Brown. Prince's legacy: love, loyalty, and remembrance. Though Prince was back with his caring owner, he carried the wounds of war with him. The difficult times had taken away some of his energy and brightness. Sadly, just 2 years after coming home, Prince died. But he left a lasting impact on the hearts of those who had known and cared for him. When Prince's incredible story became known in the press, many people doubted it. This led to an investigation by the Royal Society for Cruelty to Animals. But even with the doubts, Prince's story lives on. It shows how strong the bond between humans and their loyal pets can be. In the midst of history's darkest hours, Prince's story stands out like a shining light, warming our hearts. It teaches us about the amazing strength of love, loyalty, and friendship. Prince's courage and devotion touched everyone who knew about him. He left behind a legacy that will be treasured for years to come. The mystery of how Prince journeyed from his home to Williams adds an extra twist to his tale, showing how strong his connection was with his owner. As we think about Prince's amazing adventure, let's also remember the many other animals who have been part of the challenges and victories of war. Their sacrifices show how strong the bond between humans and animals can be. So, we salute Prince, the courageous terrier mix who beat the odds to reunite with his caring owner, Private William Brown, during a war that pushed humanity to its limits. That's all for today. Now, it's your turn to share your thoughts about this story. What's the next story you'd like to know? Let us know in the comments section below, and be sure to subscribe so you won't miss any of these amazing videos on The Wild Wonder.
What will happen when a girl goes missing, leaving her father heartbroken because the police can't find her? But just when all hope seems lost, his grandfather's loyal dog comes to the rescue, doing something remarkable and becoming the new town hero. Hey everyone, welcome to Wild Wonders. Before we start today's video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We're so close to hitting 1,000 subscribers, so make sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Now, let's start the story. A challenging beginning. Once upon a time, in a charming little town surrounded by rolling hills and beautiful greenery, there lived a man named Kevin and his daughter Alexa. Their home was filled with love and happiness. But things hadn't always been so good. Kevin had endured heartbreak when his wife Marie unexpectedly left them, shattering their family's peace. The pain was immense, leaving Kevin feeling confused and sad. But in the midst of this darkness, his daughter Alexa was a beacon of light. Alexa was no ordinary child. From the moment she came into the world, it was evident that she experienced life differently. Born with autism, she viewed the world through a vibrant kaleidoscope of colors and intense emotions. Despite the difficulties it presented, Alexa's presence brought endless love and joy into their home. Kevin dedicated himself to ensuring Alexa's safety and happiness, creating a home that catered to her needs. He admired her ability to find joy in the little things, her laughter filling the house like sweet music. As time went by, the pain from Marie's departure started to fade, and Kevin and Alexa found comfort in each other's presence. When summer came, Kevin chose to take Alexa on a trip to visit his family in the peaceful countryside. Their family reunion was filled with laughter and warmth, with Kevin's father sharing stories about their cherished dog, Charlie. Charlie was no ordinary dog. He had an extraordinary talent for finding lost items, making him a local legend. While the locals thought Charlie was a hero, Kevin wasn't so sure, thinking that any dog could find things around the house. The terrifying disappearance. A week after they arrived, Kevin began to feel calmer. One morning, after taking his father to the airport for a fishing trip, Kevin felt sleepy and fell asleep while watching Alexa play with Charlie. When he woke up, he was filled with dread. Alexa was missing. Panic set in as he searched the house desperately, calling out her name with no answer. The peaceful countryside soon echoed with cries for Alexa as neighbors joined in the urgent search. Kevin's brother James came back home and joined the search, but Alexa was nowhere to be seen. Understanding they needed more assistance, they went to the police. The community united, their once silent streets now filled with people searching for the little girl. Kevin felt overwhelmed with guilt, blaming himself for falling asleep and losing sight of Alexa. As time went by with no sight of Alexa, the tension increased. The police expanded their search, and the community kept assisting, showing great kindness and worry. Kevin was almost in despair when someone suggested using Charlie to find Alexa. At first hesitant, Kevin eventually agreed, desperate to find his daughter. Charlie, given one of Alexa's clothes to smell, swiftly picked up her scent and guided Kevin and James through the town. Charlie's heroic rescue. Even though Kevin didn't trust Charlie at first, something amazing happened. Charlie led them to a hidden part of town. There, they found a group of bad people who had taken Alexa. When they got there with the police caught all the bad people right away. Kevin felt so happy and relieved that he hugged Alexa tightly, tears of joy streaming down his face. Charlie, who was once doubted, turned out to be the hero everyone needed. Everyone cheered for Alexa's safe return, happy that they all helped bring her back home. When their father returned and heard about the day's events, he shared a surprising fact. Charlie was a retired police dog, trained in search and rescue. This information explained Charlie's remarkable abilities and changed the family's view of him. Kevin felt a mix of frustration and relief, wishing he had known earlier, but still thankful for Charlie's important role in finding Alexa. As word of Charlie's heroics spread, he became even more of a local legend, admired by all. The community celebrated the family's reunion and Charlie's significant role in it. This story reminded everyone of the extraordinary abilities that trained animals possess and the importance of trusting them in critical moments. In the end, Kevin and Alexa returned to their peaceful life, forever grateful for Charlie's heroism. The event left a lasting impression on the town, a testament to the bond between humans and their faithful animal companions. That's all for today. Now, it's your turn to share your thoughts about this story. What's the next story you'd like to know? Let us know in the comment section below, and be sure to subscribe so you won't miss any of these amazing videos on The Wild Wonder.
What will happen when a girl's calm life with her dear dog gets shaken up by a new guy? She dreams of a future with him, but things take a surprising turn, showing her a side of him she never expected. Join us as we follow her journey through love, betrayal, and bravery as she stands up for what's right. The story begins with Olivia, a 26-year-old woman living in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Her life was full of love and happiness. She had 2 French bulldogs named Betty and Veronica, who were like family to her. They brought joy and laughter with their playful behavior. Olivia also had a boyfriend named Maxwell, whom she imagined being with forever. As their relationship grew stronger, they moved in together at Olivia's place. Everything seemed fine at first, but soon Olivia started feeling uneasy. Whenever Maxwell came home, Betty and Veronica's playful attitudes turned cautious, and they seemed scared around him. Olivia couldn't shake off the feeling that something was wrong. She brushed it off, thinking it was just because Maxwell was new to Betty and Veronica. However, one day, when Maxwell left town for a while, Olivia stumbled upon a surprising sight: mysterious injuries on her dogs. Initially, she thought they were just accidents from playing. Little did she know, these injuries were hiding a big secret she never could have imagined. As Olivia arrived at the vet, they examined Betty and Veronica. The vet's words came as a surprise. The scars weren't from playful accidents, but were intentionally inflicted. Olivia was puzzled. Who would harm her dogs? Then, a chilling thought struck her. Could this be why Betty and Veronica were scared of Maxwell? Did he do this? But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to The Wild Wonder and give that like button a tap. Let's continue the story. As days turned into weeks, Olivia's worry grew stronger. She loved Betty and Veronica deeply and couldn't bear the uncertainty. With determination fueled by love, she made a bold decision. With trembling hands and a heavy heart, she set up a secret camera in her home. She was ready to uncover the truth about her boyfriend, no matter the pain it might cause. When Maxwell returned, Olivia, determined to find out the truth, reluctantly left Betty and Veronica with him. She felt torn, but her curiosity drove her to take the risk. That night, she anxiously reviewed the camera footage. What she discovered was shocking. Maxwell, the man she loved, was not who he seemed. Behind closed doors, he turned into a cruel figure, harming her beloved dogs in ways she couldn't imagine. Seeing this shattered Olivia's world. It was as if everything she believed about Maxwell had crumbled in an instant. She was heartbroken and confused, grappling with the betrayal of someone she trusted. But now, armed with this painful truth, Olivia knew she had to confront Maxwell and protect her furry companions from further harm. She decided to take action against Maxwell, so she put the videos online. The response was quick and strong. The videos spread fast on social media, making people really mad at Maxwell. They left lots of comments, shocked by what they saw and disgusted by Maxwell's actions. But among all the anger, there was also a lot of support for Olivia. People thought she was really brave for showing the truth. But that wasn't the end of it. Olivia was determined to make things right, so she told the police about Maxwell. This started a big search for him all over the country. Animal rights groups also joined Olivia, wanting to make sure animals were safe and that bad people like Maxwell got punished. As the story got bigger, Olivia found herself in a surprising role. Suddenly, she was a hero, even though she didn't plan on it. In interviews, she talked passionately about her love for Betty and Veronica. She promised to keep fighting for their rights and for all animals. It was a big change for Olivia, but she took on the challenge with all her heart, wanting to make the world a better place for furry friends everywhere. But amidst the chaos and uncertainty, a ray of hope emerged. Olivia's quick response, coupled with the online community's backing, led to Betty and Veronica's recovery. Released from Maxwell's clutches, they thrived, transforming into cheerful and robust dogs. Their once fearful gaze now brimmed with happiness and faith. The story of Olivia and her dogs serves as a poignant reminder that even amidst our darkest hours, hope persists. It underscores the potency of love, bravery, and the indomitable connection between humans and animals. Above all, it urges us to take a stand against cruelty in all its guises, ensuring that every silent being finds a voice. That's all for today. Now, it's your turn to share your thoughts about this story. What's the next story you'd like to know? Let us know in the comment section below, and be sure to subscribe so you won't miss any of these amazing videos on The Wild Wonder. What will happen when a dog mysteriously vanishes, only to be discovered hiding in his old kennel with a surprising secret? This unexpected turn of events leads to an urgent call to the vet by his concerned owner. The story begins with a girl named Scarlett and her 4-year-old German Shepherd, Tommy. Every morning at 7 a.m., Tommy would wait for her, ready for their daily walk. But today was different. The hallway was empty, and Tommy was nowhere to be found. Worried, Scarlett called his name, but there was no answer. She searched the house and eventually headed to the backyard. There, she saw Tommy peeking out from his old kennel. This was odd because Tommy never liked the kennel and always stayed inside with Scarlett. Even stranger, instead of his usual happy greeting, he just watched her with sad, tired eyes. Scarlett knew something was wrong and felt a pang of concern for her beloved dog. Tommy, usually so full of life and kindness, now seemed withdrawn. When he refused to come back inside, Scarlett brought his food and water to him. But every time she got too close, he growled, wanting to be left alone. It seemed like he was hiding something in his crate. Scarlett watched anxiously as he took mouthfuls of kibble, disappeared into the kennel, and then re-emerged, watching her warily. This strange behavior continued, so Scarlett woke her husband, Scott. Seeing how Tommy was acting, Scott agreed something was definitely wrong. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to The Wild Wonder and give that like button a tap. Let's continue the story. The next morning, Scarlett saw that Tommy was still in the kennel, looking tired and scratching at his ears. Worried, Scott called the vet. When the vet arrived and took a closer look, they discovered Tommy was infested with fleas and his inner ear was bleeding. Tommy had both fleas and ear mites, which caused him a lot of pain. The vet prescribed ear drops, topical treatments for his ears, and chewable medication to get rid of the fleas. Relieved to finally know what was wrong, Scott and Scarlett took Tommy home and started the treatment. However, they faced a new problem. To prevent more flea exposure, they kept Tommy out of the backyard. This change made their usually happy dog anxious and restless. They tried to keep him busy with toys and playtime, but Tommy's anxiety only grew. He started clawing at doors, chewing on walls, and refused to eat, drink, or sleep. Watching their beloved dog struggle, Scott and Scarlett knew they had to find a way to help Tommy feel better and adjust to his new routine. That night, just 5 hours after they got home, Scarlett and Scott heard the doggy door creaking. They were puzzled and hurried to see what was happening. Tommy had managed to break through and was making a beeline for his kennel. Scott and Scarlett followed, stepping into the cool night air. As they reached halfway across the yard, Tommy suddenly stopped, fixated on something in the darkness. And then they spotted them. 2 pairs of shiny eyes disappearing into the kennel. Tommy, feeling protective, charged towards the kennel. Scott raced after him, but it was too late. Tommy vanished into the depths of the kennel. There was a sudden uproar. Growls, barks, and strange sounds filled the night. And then, out of nowhere, 2 raccoons darted out of the kennel, with Tommy hot on their tails. The raccoons dashed over the fence and vanished into the darkness. Gasping for breath, Scott and Scarlett caught up to Tommy, noticing fresh wounds on him. Despite his injuries, Tommy stood firm. They tried to lure him away from the kennel, but he dashed back to it. It was evident that the night's events hadn't lessened his attachment to the kennel. Concerned about the risk of rabies, Scott and Scarlett decided to return to the vet with Tommy. Just as Scott was about to enter the kennel, Tommy emerged with something tiny and fragile in his mouth. A weak, 1-month-old kitten. It dawned on them. Tommy had been guarding this little one all along, showing his protective side in the most unexpected way. They rushed both Tommy and the kitten to the veterinary clinic. Dr. Thompson, surprised by the new twist, performed a thorough examination on both. Tommy received a rabies booster to prevent any potential infection. The kitten, now named Viper, was in critical condition, suffering from severe flea and ear mite infestation. Viper needed to stay at the clinic for proper treatment and nutrition. The following days were filled with tension for Scott and Scarlett. With Tommy separated from the kitten, he grew increasingly anxious and restless. However, Viper slowly began to recover. His fever faded, and he gained weight. Then, the awaited day came when Viper was declared fit to go home. Scarlett made the decision to adopt Viper. When she returned home with him, the reunion was heartwarming. Tommy's behavior had shifted from quirks to a deep bond with the kitten. The once puzzling event became a heartwarming story of kindness and strength. Scott, Scarlett, Tommy, and Viper began a new adventure together, embracing the happiness and hurdles of their growing family. Their home, now filled with love and understanding, showed how unexpected bonds can bring beauty to our lives. That's all for today. Now it's your turn to share your thoughts about this story. What's the next story you'd like to know? Let us know in the comment section below, and be sure to subscribe so you won't miss any of these amazing videos on the Wild Wonder. What will happen when a family rediscovers their old dog, now in critical condition? Despite their worries, the dog surprises them with an unbelievable act they never expected. Ileana watched her children through the kitchen window as they played outside. Their laughter and excited voices filled the air as they chased each other near the edge of the woods. Suddenly, one child stopped and stared into the distance, a look of shock on her face. Her older sibling quickly realized something was wrong and called for their mother. Hearing her baby's call, Ileana dropped everything and rushed out the door. When she reached them, Ileana was shocked. "It's Max," she exclaimed. Max, a dog from the village, had a special fondness for Ileana's family and often visited to play with her daughters. Ileana's daughters had often asked her to adopt Max, but she had always refused. Today, however, Max looked worse than ever. Limping and covered in marks, Max's appearance was heartbreaking. Ileana gasped, horrified, and thought he must have fought another animal. As Max drew closer, it was clear he needed help. She sent her older child to fetch their father, who was in the garage, hoping they could save their furry friend in time. Ileana knew she couldn't do much for Max immediately. The dog had a history of being wary of humans due to a dark past filled with mistreatment. Physical contact had to be on his terms. As Max struggled to sit down, he gazed up at Ileana before collapsing. She screamed for her husband, who quickly emerged from the garage. He assessed the situation, carefully lifted Max, and carried him to the garden shed. Ileana ran ahead, preparing a table with a towel. Her husband laid Max down and began examining him for broken bones. Though not a vet, he had basic knowledge of animal care and acted swiftly to prevent the dog from deteriorating. Discovering only a sprained hind leg and numerous bite marks, he asked Ileana to disinfect the wounds. She worked diligently, tears streaming down her face as she wondered what had happened to Max. The children, witnessing their parents' efforts, cried for their friend, feeling guilty for not adopting him sooner. But before we delve deeper into the story, don't forget to subscribe to The Wild Wonder and give that like button a tap. Let's continue the story. Although when Max had appeared in their village out of nowhere, he was scared and alone. He avoided humans, prompting villagers to assume he was lost. Despite their efforts, no one claimed him. Gradually, the villagers began leaving food and water for him, which he cautiously consumed when no one was around. Over time, Max ventured out more, though he still fled at the sight of humans one evening. While watching children play, Max encountered Ileana's children. He was particularly drawn to Chloe, the eldest. She offered him a piece of her sandwich, which he ate hesitantly. Over time, she inched closer, and Max allowed her proximity without fear. From that day, Max followed Chloe and her sister to school, growing closer to them with each passing day. The bond strengthened, but Max would occasionally disappear, only to return weeks later. But this time, Max came back with severe injuries, looking like he had fought with some wild animals. He was so weak that he could barely stand. Chloe's father did everything he could, disinfecting the wounds and reassuring the girls. Chloe, though, couldn't eat, consumed by worry. She stayed with Max, covering him with a blanket and hoping he'd wake up soon. The next morning, Max was feeling better, but still unable to walk. When Chloe saw that Max had awakened, she was overjoyed. Her parents went to the market to buy some treats for Max. While Chloe's father was away, something unexpected happened. Chloe and her younger sister were playing in the garden, while Max watched them from the shed. Suddenly, a huge wolf appeared in the garden. Chloe was shocked and backed her sister away, knowing she couldn't do anything alone. She yelled for her mother, but there was no one to help. As the wolf slowly approached, something unbelievable happened. Max appeared. Just hours earlier, he couldn't walk, but seeing Chloe in danger, he ran and stood between Chloe and the wolf, attacking forcefully. Max fought strongly, and when Chloe saw that Max couldn't hold on and was becoming weaker, Ileana arrived and her father yelled, scaring the wolf away. As the wolf ran away, Ileana saw that Max was in critical condition and weak, but he fought bravely for Chloe. Her father immediately started his car and brought Max to the vet, with Chloe riding in the back, her heart heavy with worry. The vet examined Max and concluded that he needed immediate surgery due to a head injury. Chloe was devastated, but her father comforted her as they waited for the operation to finish. Luckily, the surgery was successful, and Chloe wept tears of joy. They celebrated by buying treats for Max, who, to their surprise, was awake and wagging his tail when they returned. Max's bond with Chloe was unbreakable. He had found solace and safety with her, and she with him. After a few days at the clinic, Max returned home to recover. Chloe never left his side, ensuring he was comfortable and well-fed. Max's bravery had solidified his place in their family, and from that day forward, he was never alone again. He had gone from a scared, lonely dog to a beloved protector and friend. Chloe and Max's bond grew stronger every day, a testament to the power of love and loyalty. That's all for today. Now, it's your turn to share your thoughts about this story. What's the next story you'd like to know? Let us know in the comment section below, and be sure to subscribe so you won't miss any of these amazing videos on The Wild Wonder. Every night, 3 months later, she discovers something horrible. Imagine a girl who wanted a dog to keep her company and cheer her up. She adopts one, hoping it will bring joy, but then something unexpected happens that threatens her life. The story begins with a girl named Hazel, who has loved dogs since she was a child. Due to frequent job changes and moves between cities, she never had the chance to adopt one. Now settled in a new city with a stable job, Hazel finally decides it's time to bring a furry friend into her life. After searching online, Hazel finds an animal shelter near her apartment. Excited, she visits and is greeted by a chorus of barks and wagging tails. Little does she know, this visit will soon reshape her life in unexpected ways. But before we delve deeper into the story, don't forget to subscribe to The Wild Wonder and give that like button a tap. Let's continue the story. As she steps inside, her heart races with anticipation. Each dog vies for her attention, each with its own story and longing for a loving home. Hazel's journey to find her perfect companion has only just begun. Amidst the hustle and bustle of the shelter, one dog stood out to Hazel, a striking German shepherd named Jack. His coat blended golden and black hues, and his eyes held a gentle yet playful gaze. Jack approached Hazel with a wagging tail, instantly capturing her heart with his friendly demeanor and affectionate nudges. Hazel couldn't resist Jack's charm and spent more time getting to know him. Their bond deepened with every passing moment, and Hazel felt a connection that she knew was special. With enthusiastic approval from the shelter staff, she joyfully decided to adopt Jack, envisioning a future full of love and companionship. Driving Jack home, Hazel couldn't take her eyes off her new companion sitting beside her. Upon arriving, she eagerly introduced Jack to his new surroundings, ensuring he felt welcomed and loved right from the start. Hazel stocked up on treats, toys, and nutritious food, determined to provide Jack with everything he needed for a happy life together. The days that followed were filled with happiness, as Jack brought newfound joy into Hazel's life. His gentle nature and protective instincts quickly endeared him to her, becoming her loyal companion, especially during their nightly routines sharing the same bed. Despite trying to set boundaries initially, Hazel found herself welcoming Jack into her bed, unable to resist his warmth and affection. However, everything seemed perfect until one day, Hazel began feeling unexpectedly tired and weak. At first, she thought it was just work stress, hoping a good night's sleep would help. But as days passed, her condition worsened. Despite her healthy lifestyle, Hazel felt increasingly drained and feverish, unsure of what was causing her illness. One morning while walking Jack, Hazel suddenly felt dizzy and collapsed, causing concerned passersby to rush to her aid. It was a scary moment that made Hazel realize she needed immediate medical help. With the help of kind strangers, she managed to get to the hospital where doctors ran thorough tests to find out what was wrong. After many tests, the doctor couldn't pinpoint a specific illness, but thought Hazel might be allergic, possibly to Jack's fur. This was hard for Hazel to believe, because she'd always loved dogs. The doctor explained that sometimes people develop allergies as adults, even to things they've been around for years. The doctor suggested Hazel reduce her contact with Jack to see if her health improved. Reluctantly, Hazel followed the doctor's advice and noticed some improvement after distancing herself from Jack for a few days. But her relief was short-lived. When she let Jack back into her life, her symptoms returned. Confused and torn between her love for Jack and her failing health, Hazel faced a tough, emotional battle. The situation took a worrying turn when Hazel noticed Jack showing signs of discomfort, a swollen groin, and occasional limping. Concerned, Hazel turned to a neighbor who was a veterinarian for help. After examining Jack, the vet suspected he might have a zoonotic disease called brucellosis, which could spread to humans. The possibility of both Hazel and Jack being seriously ill with a potentially dangerous disease filled her with fear. They hurried Jack to the veterinary hospital for more tests, which sadly confirmed he had brucellosis. Hazel felt a mix of devastation and relief. Devastated by Jack's diagnosis, yet relieved to learn her own symptoms weren't just an allergy, but likely linked to the same bacterial infection. While Jack underwent treatment at the hospital, Hazel underwent her own tests, confirming she had contracted brucellosis from him. This explained her prolonged illness, and stressed the need for them to stay apart until both were fully treated and healthy again. Hazel began a regimen of antibiotics and took every precaution to prevent spreading the infection further, all the while longing for the day she could be reunited with Jack. Weeks passed as Hazel focused on recovering, missing Jack's presence terribly. but understanding it was necessary for their recovery. Finally, the moment came when both Hazel and Jack were declared healthy and reunited. The hospital staff witnessed their emotional reunion, touched by the enduring bond between human and dog that had endured through their ordeal. As they returned home together, Hazel felt an overwhelming gratitude for Jack's steadfast companionship and resilience. Their journey had been tough, but their deep bond had triumphed. With a newfound appreciation, Hazel promised to cherish every moment with Jack, knowing they had conquered a major hurdle and emerged stronger. That's all for today. Now, it's your turn to share your thoughts about this story. What's the next story you'd like to know? Let us know in the comment section below, and be sure to subscribe so you won't miss any of these amazing videos on The Wild Wonder.
What happens when someone who really loves animals finds a lonely Labrador puppy on the street? This chance meeting with the puppy turns into an amazing adventure filled with kindness, surprising friendships, and a twist that warms everyone's heart. The story starts with a man named Hui Fen, also known as Kim, who spends his days helping animals. Kim loves animals so much that he rescues them whenever he finds them in trouble. One day, as Kim was driving to the zoo, the traffic light turned red. While waiting for the green light, he heard a sad noise, like a dog in trouble. Kim parked his car and followed the sound. To his surprise, he found a precious Labrador puppy, all alone and vulnerable, abandoned on the street. Without hesitation, Kim picked up the helpless pup, determination burning in his eyes. He took the dog, which he named Lou, to his home and provided her with medical care. This marked the beginning of a special bond and an extraordinary tale in Kim's life, a tale filled with love and compassion that he never anticipated. He picked up the dog and brought it home. After providing the dog with medical care, he named her Lou. This name became a symbol of love and compassion. It set the stage for an extraordinary tale in Kim's life that he never expected. After taking care of Lou for a few days and seeing her get better, Kim decided to bring her to the zoo. Lou got the chance to grow up in a lively zoo environment, right next to her human friend. Kim, who had a steady job at the zoo, saw this as a way to have a bigger impact on the lives of the animals he cared deeply about. His job included giving expert advice on how to take care of the zoo's various animals. 3 years after Kim rescued Lou, he received a call from a local animal welfare agency. This call brought a challenge he didn't see coming. The agency told him about 3 tiger cubs left alone without their mom. This was a big deal for Kim, as these kinds of calls were rare and usually involved smaller animals. The fact that these cubs were abandoned suggested something tragic had happened to their mother. Realizing the seriousness of the situation, Kim offered his zoo as a safe place for the little tigers. The organization was thankful for his quick help and gladly accepted his offer. They knew the cubs would get comfort and care under Kim's watchful care. When the cubs arrived at the zoo, Kim took them straight to the hospital section to ensure their well-being. The next day, when Kim brought the tiger cubs to the main area of the zoo, he was surprised to see Lou showing a special interest in them. Lou seemed unusually drawn to the cubs, as if some instinct had kicked in. After the cubs got their checkups and medicine, the vet suggested letting Lou interact with them. What happened next was truly unexpected. To everyone's surprise, Lou, the Labrador, embraced the tiger cubs as if they were her own. She licked them gently, keeping them close and making sure they were warm and safe. It was clear that she saw them as her babies, and amazingly, the cubs accepted her as their mother. The bond between Lou and the cubs amazed the vet and Kim, realizing how rare and special it was. They decided to let Lou explore her natural motherly instincts, recognizing the unique benefits it could bring to the cubs. When Kim wasn't around, he trusted the zoo staff to take care of Lou and the cubs. Lou took her mothering role seriously, grooming the cubs, helping with feeding and guiding their behavior. For almost 3 months, she played the role of a nurturing mother, and the cubs transformed from timid to confident and lively under Lou's loving care. The zoo staff did their best to let Lou and the tiger cubs stay together as a unique family, But eventually, they had to be separated. The cubs needed to socialize with other big cats, and Lou needed protection from their claws and teeth. While Lou seemed sad at first, she found comfort in knowing that her beloved cubs were growing and thriving in their own way. Even though there were no plans to reunite them, fate had a different plan in store. Lou, in her scared state, accidentally ran into an area she had forgotten about and fell into the space where the adult tigers were kept. Kim, seeing this from a distance, rushed to help when something surprising occurred. One by one, 6 big tigers appeared, looking at Lou like she might be a problem. But then 3 more tigers showed up, standing between Lou and the first 6. It was unexpected and unusual. Kim was very surprised when he noticed that the extra 3 tigers weren't facing Lou. Instead, they were standing between her and the original 6 tigers. It was like they formed a protective circle around her. Lou became less scared when she realized these were the 3 cubs she had raised. Their bond was strong, and the presence of the younger tigers calmed down the older ones. The rest of the tigers casually went back to their spots, settling together to wait out the storm. An even more amazing thing happened. With the danger gone, the young tigers turned their attention to Lou, surrounding her with love. Happy to see her again, they stayed close, making sure she was safe during the storm. In their special way, the tigers remembered Lou as the one who cared for them when they were little, and now they are repaying that kindness. What a great ending. Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you like the story, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more, and share the video with your friends. Until then, take care. In a calm town, a man's quiet life suddenly changes on a hot summer morning. This brings a series of events that not only alter his destiny, but also show the strong loyalty of his furry friend. The beginning of the story. Alan, the 33-year-old man, lived peacefully with his sister Emma and his beloved boxer dog, Rambo. Alan didn't have many friends and spent most of his time either at work or playing with Rambo. One thing Rambo eagerly awaited was their morning jog, which started every day at 6 a.m. Rambo would jump on Alan's bed, waking him up for their routine walk. One scorching summer Sunday morning, with the sun shining brightly, Alan and Rambo were ready for their jog. Little did they know that something unexpected was about to happen, changing Alan's life forever. Hey everyone, welcome to Wild Wonders. Before we start today's video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We're so close to hitting 1,000 subscribers, so make sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Now, let's continue with the story. As they peacefully jogged, Alan suddenly got a headache and collapsed, unconscious. Rambo, sensing something was wrong, became nervous and started barking loudly. Since it was a Sunday morning and the park was empty, Rambo's barking didn't catch anyone's attention. Rambo's heroic actions. Then, Rambo did something remarkable. He sprinted back to the house, urgently leading Emma, Alan's sister, to the park where Alan had collapsed. Initially, Emma became confused when witnessing Rambo's strange behavior. However, she decided to follow Rambo and was met with a shocking sight that made her scream in horror. Emma was worried and confused upon seeing Alan. She quickly called for emergency help. When the ambulance arrived, they took Alan to the hospital, and Emma accompanied him. After a few hours of treatment, the doctor told her that Alan's condition was really bad and couldn't be fixed. Emma stayed with Alan all night, holding his hand and hoping he would get better. The next day, something surprising happened. Doctors discovered that Alan was still alive, although just barely. Emma was so happy to see her brother fighting to stay alive. In the middle of all this, Emma forgot Rambo, their dog. When she came back, she was shocked to find that Rambo had made a huge mess and destroyed things around the house. It was worse than anything he had done before. Couches were torn, and everything was a mess in the once calm living room. Emma, who was already worried about her sick brother Alan, now had another problem to deal with. The chaos caused by Rambo, Alan's loyal but upset dog, Rambo and Emma's emotional journey. Emma looked really upset as she tried to figure out why Rambo was acting so strangely. The moment she realized that Rambo is so sensitive about Alan, it all began when Alan bravely rescued Rambo near Sutter Essie Cemetery. Despite facing challenges, their friendship grew, and Rambo became an integral part of Alan's life. However, Alan was currently not with Rambo, leaving him sad and eager to know where Alan was. Seeing the sadness in Rambo's eyes, Emma's anger disappeared, and she felt sorry for the dog. An emotional bond grew between Emma and Rambo as they both felt sad together. Emma sat with Rambo, crying and hugging her, realizing she needed to make things right with Alan. Emma decided to bring Rambo to the hospital to see Alan. Even though animals usually can't go to hospitals, Emma asked the doctors if Rambo could visit. Sadly, the doctors shared very sad news that Alan might not make it through the day. Emma was really sad, but she still wanted Rambo to say a final goodbye to Alan. After seeing this situation, the doctor allows Rambo to meet with his owner. When Rambo and Alan reunited in the hospital room, it was a very touching moment. Rambo made sad sounds, showing a strong desire to be close to Alan. Emma felt deeply moved when Rambo chose to rest between Alan's legs. Throughout the day, Alan's health got worse, and Emma knew she had to say goodbye soon. With family and Rambo around, Alan peacefully passed away. He left behind a legacy of kindness by being an organ donor. After Alan's death, Emma decided to become Rambo's new owner, adding her to their family of dogs. Both Emma and Rambo were sad about missing Alan, and they became really good friends. They went through a lot together, being loyal to each other, experiencing loss, and eventually finding happiness again. Their story ended on a happy note, showing how love and connection can last and make things better. That's all for today. Now, it's your turn to share your thoughts about this story. What's the next story you'd like to know? Let us know in the comment section below, and be sure to subscribe so you won't miss any of these amazing videos on The Wild Wonder. Imagine a big city full of danger. In this city, a surprising friendship is about to begin. It's a story of bravery and loyalty. Join us as we uncover the unexpected twists that bring hope in tough times. The streets of struggle. Once upon a time, there was a woman named Alexandra who moved to Detroit, a dangerous place with many bad people. She was all alone and had to deal with the tough streets where danger lurked everywhere. Alexandra had just broken up with her partner, which made things even harder for her. She found herself living in one of the city's toughest neighborhoods. Despite everything, Alexandra kept a little bit of hope inside her. She was determined to survive through all the tough times and challenges life threw at her. Her encounters with tough times happened a lot, and they were really scary. She faced robberies, harassment, and the constant fear of violence every day. But each time something bad happened, Alexandra found a way to stay strong. Even though life was really hard for her, she didn't let herself give up. Even though she felt stuck, she made a decision to keep going and find a better life for herself. A new guardian. One day while she was grocery shopping, a man tried to steal Alexandra's money. She ran and went outside to the animal shelter where she felt safe, but she didn't know that someone was waiting for her there. Hey everyone, welcome to Wild Wonders. Before we start today's video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We're so close to hitting 1,000 subscribers, so make sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Now, let's continue with the story. In the animal shelter, she spotted an old but proud dog named Bonnie. Bonnie was a retired police dog, left alone and forgotten. Despite her age, Bonnie had a strong presence, like a silent protector in the busy shelter. In an instant, Alexandra felt something special, a strong connection with Bonnie. Alexandra was also searching for someone to protect her from the daily problems, and she thought that Bonnie was the perfect protector for her. so she begged the shelter workers to let her take Bonnie home. Surprisingly, they agreed, and soon Alexandra walked out of the shelter with Bonnie beside her. From then on, Alexandra noticed a change in her life. With Bonnie beside her, no one had the guts to harass Alexandra. However, bringing Bonnie into Alexandra's home wasn't easy. Bonnie had some problems adjusting, like not sleeping well and doing strange things, which suggested she had a strict past. But Alexandra didn't give up. She promised to give Bonnie a happy home, a safe place, despite the difficulties around them. An unexpected connection. One day, Alexandra had to go to the ATM in her neighborhood. She always felt scared doing this alone. Luckily, she had Bonnie with her, her loyal companion who made her feel safer. Alexandra knew there could be bad people around, so she counted on Bonnie to protect her. But things got scary when a stranger in a hood came up to them at the ATM. Alexandra held on to Bonnie tightly, hoping someone would help. Then, something unexpected happened. Instead of being mean, Bonnie surprised everyone by being very friendly to the stranger. She hugged the stranger tightly, showing kindness and love. It was a big surprise for Alexandra. She also felt scared and confused about this friendly gesture of Bonnie with the stranger. After some moments, the stranger told Alexandra he was John, Bonnie's old owner. He looked after Bonnie when he was a police officer, but they got separated when John had to go work in another city. When he came back, Bonnie had already retired, so they couldn't see each other again. But after searching a lot, John found out where Bonnie was. When Alexandra found out, she asked John to come visit her and Bonnie. In the daytime, they sat together and had hot coffee. They talked and became friends because they both loved Bonnie. Alexandra learned that John really cared about Bonnie when they were together, and he did a lot to keep her safe. They both liked Bonnie so much that it made them friends. On this day, Alexandra told John that he could meet Bonnie whenever he wanted. Over time, Alexandra grew to like John a lot because he was smart and kind. They became really close friends and cared a lot about Bonnie. They both wanted a better future together. In the end, what started as a tough and uncertain time turned into a hopeful and uplifting story. With Bonnie and John there to support her, Alexandra felt braver and stronger. They tackled the problems in their neighborhood together, walking around Detroit knowing they were like a family. They promised to stick together through whatever challenges came their way, because they cared for each other like family and friends do. That's all for today. Now, it's your turn to share your thoughts about this story. What's the next story you'd like to know? Let us know in the comment section below, and be sure to subscribe so you won't miss any of these amazing videos on The Wild Wonder.